Okay, so I got a video today of me adding and subtracting some fractions. So the first one, relatively simple, 3/4 plus 2/4. You're just trying to think of what 3 plus 2 would equal. If I draw this in picture form, it might make it a little bit simpler to see. So if I draw this, and I divide it into 4, and then I draw this as 4 as well. Okay? Well, here I'm going to make this 3/4. So I shaded in 3 out of the 4 boxes. Here, 2/4. Shaded 2 out of the 4 boxes. If you look at it, 3/4 and 2/4, well, together it would be 5/4. 5/4 is one of those fractions we call greater than a fraction greater than 1. If I was to do this together, you see, if I moved one box from here to here, I would make that fully shaded in, and I would still have 1 that remains over here. Basically, if I know that, if I know that 4/4 is 1 whole, then 5/4, another name for it, would be 1 whole and 1/4. So 5/4 is this written as a fraction greater than 1. 1 and 1/4 is this written as a mixed number. And I encourage you to try to write things as mixed numbers. Next up, 1/2 plus 2/2. Well, if I have 1/2 plus 2/2, the halves is just going to stay the same, just like it did up here. It's made out of 2. So, 1 out of 2 and 2 out of 2. If I have 1/2 and 2/2, I would end up with 3/2. Okay, just adding the numerators and the denominators stays the same for both. If I was to draw this, okay, and now I have that half shaded in. And if I was to draw this, and I have both parts shaded in, well, you can see now how that would end up being one is fully shaded in, and 1/2 of this one right over here is shaded in as well. So this would also end up equaling 1 and 1/2. Okay, so 1 and 1/2 would be another name for that. And the last problem I want us to work on, now if you see, we have different denominators. So our denominators are not equal. If I have denominators that are not equal, what I can end up doing with them is I can end up multiplying or dividing to make them equivalent. I always like to multiply. I just think that's a bit simpler. So I would want to make my 1/3 become equivalent to 7/9. And the way that I would do that is, well, how can I make 3 equal to 9? Multiply it by 3. If I multiply the denominator by 3 to get it to be equivalent, I have to also multiply my numerator by 3. So this problem now, thirds is going to be transported into ninths. So I now would have, and 1 times 3 would be 3. It's actually 3/9 plus 7/9. Oops, I almost made tenths. Got ahead of myself. So now, last step, adding the problem up. 7 plus 3, well, that actually would equal 10/9. I know that 10/9 is a fraction greater than 1. If 9/9 equals 1 whole, because I have 9 out of 9, then 10/9 is just 1 above that. So I would have 1 whole and 1/9 left over. So it's 1, and 1/9 is my answer. Okay, pause your video right here if you want, and I will get started again at 3:55 with the, that makes no sense. I didn't even think that through. Sorry. You have to see the problems in order for you to pause it. Here are the problems I'm going to have you do. Okay, I will try to post a video later with a solution of them. I'll just stop it here. Maybe I'll upload a little quicker. So I'm going to have you work on these 5 problems. Okay, thanks.